Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching India Tonight with me, Sumita Karir, and my colleague Ashish Parikh. We're joining you live from our Delhi studios. And tonight, in a resounding endorsement of the double-engine government, the National Democratic Alliance, or NDA, led by BJP and Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's JDU, is poised for a historic sweep in Bihar's 243-seat assembly. In fact, it has swept assembly election. In fact, it has crossed the majority mark with over 200 seats as vote counting concludes. In fact, early trends are showing BJP essentially it showed that they were leading on 88 seats, and of course after that they ended up crossing that majority mark of 200. Of course, this is a magnanimous victory. This is a massive victory for the BJP, for the NDA. And does it really set a template ahead of 2026 assembly elections? Ashish, that is the big question.
Absolutely. In fact, that's the big question, and everyone's talking about what's happening not just in Bihar and also the ramifications it's going to have as far as the entire nation is concerned. Let's also speak about what the Prime Minister said. The Prime Minister hailed this win as Bihar's biggest mandate for NDA since 2010. In fact, he's also Sumita, interestingly, credited women's welfare schemes as well. This was something the opposition was saying, but the Prime Minister himself did acknowledge that the welfare schemes for women did pave the way against the Jungle Raj. In fact, the Prime Minister also sent across a message for West Bengal from Bihar, saying that the victory in Bihar has paved the way for a BJP victory in Bengal as well. In fact, let's listen into what the Prime Minister had to say.
बिहार के लोगों ने विकसित बिहार के लिए मतदान किया है। बिहार के लोगों ने समृद्ध बिहार के लिए मतदान किया है। मैंने चुनाव प्रचार के दौरान बिहार की जनता से रिकॉर्ड वोटिंग के लिए आग्रह किया था और बिहार के लोगों ने सारे रिकॉर्ड तोड़ दिए। मैंने बिहार के लोगों से एनडीए को प्रचंड विजय दिलाने का आग्रह किया था। बिहार की जनता ने मेरा ये आग्रह भी माना। मैंने बिहार के लोगों से एनडीए को प्रचंड विजय दिलाने का आग्रह किया था। बिहार की जनता ने मेरा ये आग्रह भी माना। बिहार ने 2010 के बाद का सबसे बड़ा जनादेश एनडीए को दिया है। मैं बहुत विनम्रता से एनडीए के सभी दलों की ओर से बिहार की महान जनता का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। मैं बिहार की महान जनता को आदरपूर्वक नमन करता हूं।
All right, so the Prime Minister over there, not just talking about the Bihar elections and what really led to the victory. Of course, he spoke about the M5, the new M5 formula, not Muslim Yadav, but of course, women, Mahila and youth. He was also, Ashish, pitching for investors to come and invest in Bihar. Ladies and gentlemen, to decode the elections and of course the outcome, we have now a stellar panel of guests who's joining us now. Joining us on this broadcast is Rajiv Ranjan. He's a spokesperson of the Jan Swaraj Party. Pooja Patrick is also joining us. She's a spokesperson from the JDU, and Mr. Pankaj Pachauri is a senior journalist and broadcaster. Let me come to you, Mr. Pachauri, first. Now, when we look at this election outcome, this is way better than what was seen in the 2020 verdict. This has been an election of pro-incumbency, if pollsters are anything to believe. And they say that this has been a big trend which has been seen this election. But now many are also saying that this election also sets the pace for what is to happen in 2026, because we do have a couple of assembly elections lined up. And essentially, this is a fight not between the BJP and Congress. This is going to be between BJP and state parties. Would you agree? Mr. Pachauri, if you could please unmute yourself. Yes.
Sorry about that. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the winners and my commiserations with the losers. This election in Bihar is quite unprecedented since 2010. In 2010, BJP won 91 seats, and this time I think it's around 93. Congress was totally swept out, 4 seats in 2010. Same this year, only 4 seats. JDU has been the biggest gainer in these seats. They have doubled their seats from 43 in 2020 to 82 now. And what you're talking about, the fight between the BJP and the regional parties. Now, these two regional parties, JDU, LJP, are actually holding the central government together, because BJP has only 240 seats, and they need the help of Chandrababu Naidu's party and JDU and LJP. So in this election, we can see that BJP has knit together again a very successful formula for winning elections. But I see these elections also a bit sad from the point of view of Bihar's people, because you are a business channel and you would know that Bihar's GDP went up by 13% last year. But if you look at the last 11 years, Bihar's GDP has been growing only 34% of what the national GDP is, only 34%. And if you look at other numbers, Bihar is one of the poorest states in the world. Now, the Prime Minister and his party and his coalition had this 10,000 rupee subsidy for women, cash dole out for women. You will be shocked to know that 10,000 rupees are 14% of per capita income of a Bihari, a person who's living in Bihar, because the total per capita income is about 69,321, which is $781 a year, which is less than Mali and Burkina Faso. And the reasons for that are very clear. Bihar's industry in last 5 years, from 3,623 industrial units, it went now to 3,307. Industries are shutting down. Fiscal deficit is 9.2%, which is more than double of the national average. If you look at literacy, 61% compared to 75% of India. So this election, when you are saying pro-incumbency, it's not a pro-incumbency vote. It's basically a vote of, number one, a very good strategy of giving free or handout, basically, to women, more than 1 crore, which is hell of a lot in a state where only 6 crore, 7 crore people are voting. And number two, the trouble was...
Mr. Pachauri will get into the details of everything that has been announced so far.
Opposition.
Mr. Pachauri, just to interrupt you there, we'll of course get into the details of everything that's been announced so far and whether, things have been better in Bihar. But again, we have to look at it in relative terms. Were things better when there was, the RJD government? Are things now better under the JDU? I think that helps us, get an idea about what Bihar has done over the last 20 years and whether people are happy with it. Let me go across to the most happiest person on the panel here, Pooja Patrick ji. Pooja ji, first of all, as they say in Bihar, ka haal ba? You seem ecstatic here on the panel, and of course, you cannot tell me that you expected this, because I've spoken to a lot of your leaders over the past few weeks leading up to the elections, and nobody, even the most optimistic of the BJP or JDU leaders, did not anticipate a double century. How did this happen? What's the secret sauce?
See, Ashish, I think that the people of Bihar, they have voted for development. The people of Bihar have voted for welfare. The people in Bihar have voted for good governance, and they have voted against bad governance. This is what the key factor is. From all the sammelans that we had, and from all the leaders who had come to Bihar, and they were involved in the campaigns, from the stage itself, a comparison was made what the life was of the people before 2005 and what development in their life, what standard has developed in their life after when Nitish Kumar and the double engine Sarkar came in Bihar. So I think that was the main difference that amounts to the score that you see on the screen today. that we have 202, 203 seats here, and the largest party that was there, RJD, it has declined to 25. So I think, see, the voters are rewarding us for good governance, and the voters are punishing, I would say, the voters are punishing the people who were responsible for the bad governance of the state that was prior to Nitish Kumar coming into governance in Bihar in 2005. We always say that people in Bihar, they don't cast their vote, but they vote their caste. But in 2025, this misconception or this thing that was generated for so long will now put an end to the things, because we see that the people of Bihar, and especially the women of Bihar, they have come out of their houses not to vote for the caste, but with a rational mind to vote for the welfare and the development that has taken place in these 20 years.
Right, Pooja, very well put. In fact, we'll delve a bit deeper into, whether caste has been cast aside, whether caste has been thrown out of the window this election, and if indeed this has been the MY combine that has really led to the victory, and if that can be replicated in other states. But let me also go across to Mr. Rajiv Ranjan, and thank you very much for patiently waiting. Mr. Rajiv Ranjan, and we had this conversation the last time also when we had you on the show. This is essentially about the PK factor, Prashant Kishore factor. His election campaign was the buzziest of all that we have seen. There were great hopes also. He struck all the right notes, raised all the right issues. However, he did not really find resonance with the electorate. And when we had this conversation the last time you joined here on ET, now you said that let's wait for the results. And of course, we will score better. Why do you think your party has fared the way it has?
Well, good evening, all of you. Basically, the kind of mandate we see, we stood no chance. I mean, this kind of a mandate, the established party with a very robust, organization, election machinery like RJD, and I mean, they have been in this business for a very long time, and they couldn't, stand at all. So our chances in the beginning, after 3-4 hours, I realized that it is not. We are not going to get anything. That is one. Second is the issues which we raised were very well accepted. Everybody said that these are the right issues for the state. But the problem is that the fear of Jungle Raj. I mean, that is the fact. The fear of Jungle Raj was a cake, and the icing on it was the 10,000 rupees which was doled out to the women, and lakhs of women. That is something which, okay, Mr. Pachauri has talked about it and all those things, economics. I don't want to go into the details. The people actually, they feared. It looks like they feared that if they vote for us, Mahagathbandhan may come, the Jungle Raj, the so-called Jungle Raj may come again. So people wanted to vote for us, but at the last moment, they decided it is better to vote for the NDA, and let Jan Swaraj Party wait. I mean, this is the kind of feedback we have got, and I will not be angry or disappointed, because you see, the poor people, they suffer from insecurity, a lot of sense of insecurity. The ruling party, the winning party might say all kinds of things about development and all that, but the fact is 1/3 of our population is below poverty line. Illiteracy, there is no job, there's nothing. People have to, I mean, they're forced to migrate to other places to earn their bread. So things are not really very good. But the problem is that the fear of Jungle Raj was even worse. So I mean, they thought that it is better not to get into that, and just stay put, maintain status quo. And that is why everybody voted for NDA. We stood no chance because our issues were good. We had put up very good candidates. We tried everything. We went around talking to people. Everybody accepted that you are nice guys, good people. good issues.
Absolutely, Mr. Ranjan.
Naturally,
Regardless of which political spectrum one is from, nobody can deny the fact that Mr. Prashant Kishore and also the cadre from Jan Suraj did put in a lot of effort. And talking about efforts, Sumita, I saw you today at the Congress headquarters, and the mood was pretty somber, as it has been the case over the last few elections.
Very somber. In fact, I have to point this out, Ashish, that there was not even one leader who was present, not one spokesperson who was present at the party office, and which is why the morale of the party cadre was extremely low.
You're talking about the headquarters, Sumita, the leader not being present. Mr. Pachauri, the fact of the matter is, Congress did not have its biggest leader in Bihar for 2 months during the elections. Mr. Rahul Gandhi was not seen anywhere in Bihar, while on the other hand, Tejashwi did rally after rally. Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah virtually camped in Bihar. On odd days, you might blame the EVM. On even days, you might blame the SR. But the reality, Sumita, and also Mr. Pachauri, I want you to respond to this. The reality is that effort from the Congress on ground was just not there.
Congress has never been a player in Bihar for a very long time now, since the days Lalu Yadav came to power in the 80s. Okay, Congress 2010 they had 4 seats, 2015 they have 27 seats, which was like really an outlier sort of a thing. They're 19 seats back to 4 seats. And the trouble with the Congress is this election, I called this election on the day of the polling when Shakil Ahmed, who is, I think, third generation Congress party worker, and his father and grandfather were the freedom fighters and all, when he resigned after the voting. So it was very clear that Congress was not much interested in this. They had given this whole campaign to Tejashwi Yadav and the RJD. And the trouble with the RJD is that they get swept up by the number of people attending rallies. I've seen this in election after election, and the similar thing happened in Uttar Pradesh, where Akhilesh Yadav, they look at the rallies and say, "Oh, we are winning and it's fine." No, it's not there. They do not have boots on the ground. What is called boots on the ground? In elections like this, in a state like Bihar, I just want to, and I'll just come to the Prashant Kishore thing also. People get up early in the morning, they go door to door, they ask other people, request them to come out and vote. And that kind of election machinery, Congress never had since 30, 40 years now. And RJD has lost a lot of that. Coming to Prashant Kishore. Prashant Kishore is basically, he's a pollster. So you can have your laptop, you can have your Excel sheets and your, fancy presentations. But the trouble with Prashant Kishore is that he is limited only to, his campaign is limited only to the people who have access to media. Now look at Bihar. We are talking about, about progress of Bihar and all this, all this. 58% people have phones in Bihar. 58%. Right. The countries at 80%. Out of which only about 30 or 32% have smartphones. So how can you get your WhatsApps and stuff and all like that? Last thing I'd like to say about the Prime Minister, who called about the new MY configuration. This Mahila configuration, I've just given you the details about what kind of abysmal conditions Bihari people are living in. I mean, worse than African the continent, some of the poorest countries in the world. And the youth, the youth was basically swayed by this whole Ghuspetia thing. You can go and ask them. I've been looking at interviews people are doing on the street. So this whole fear-mongering against Ghuspetia, while you've been in power for 11 years in the country, I mean, that has really worked here. Bihar has never been a communally driven state in terms of that, majority-wise, okay? So there is a large Muslim population. People live basically happily, usually. Since Bhagalpur, which was in 1980s, there's not been a big riot or something in Bihar since
Mr.
then. So this thing really worked for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Their leaders like Giriraj Singh and Yogi Adityanath, they went and they
absolutely, Mr. Pachauri. Right, Mr. Pachauri. In fact, you've given a very good analysis as far as what really worked this election, and of course about the Congress Party as well. But nobody's stopping the Congress Party from making their machinery work or getting the machinery, getting the strategy in place, because this might be Bihar. Bihar might not have been a stronghold of the Congress Party, but what about Haryana? What about Maharashtra? What about New Delhi? So there is some serious soul searching that Congress party needs to do because it is losing election after election. But on that note, let me also welcome on the broadcast Mr. Nikhil Anand. He's a spokesperson of the BJP. Mr. Anand, first things first, congratulations for the stellar victory. Let me also take you back to what the Prime Minister said just a short while back. He essentially gave a war cry for Bengal, and he said that the model of Bihar will be replicated in Bengal as well. But given the fact that West Bengal being deeply polarized, can the model of Bihar be replicated in Bengal, and how exactly are you going to approach Bengal?
No, just Prime Minister said this with a reference that Ganga flows from UP to Bihar and then to Bengal. So just for the reference, but of course, Bengal is one state which is on target of BJP. And of course, we want to win Bengal. What happens here is that Bihar has witnessed a big change turnaround since Lalu era. And in this election, Tejasvi Yadav was constantly trying to come out of the psyche, come out of the shadow of Lalu Prasad ji. You saw that when he put the posters, he removed his parents' picture, Lalu ji, Rabri ji, and all from their posters. Even Rahul Gandhi found a place on the poster like a pygmy. And on the manifesto, it was not the collective Grand Alliance manifesto. It was Tejasvi Kapran, Tejasvi's resolve. But here we presented a consolidated face, consolidated effort we made. In August, I often say that we completed district level NDA conferences in August. In September, we completed all the assembly constituencies held collective NDA conferences in which all the state leaders, big leaders, national leaders
I heard
shared the.
Nikhil Anand, I heard that
our
the
Congress was
special
very strong.
lunch, Sumita, you were at the Congress headquarters. I heard that in the BJP headquarters, the special lunch today was Litti Choka. I'm not sure if you had your share of it, Mr. Nikhil Anand, but we here in the studio have been covering, the election all throughout. And one of the things that we have to look at is how the BJP has managed to work on the booth level. Quick follow-up question, Mr. Nikhil Anand, just a couple of minutes left. You're talking about Bengal, you're talking about how the Ganga flows. You've tried your best in West Bengal in the past as well, not succeeded. Help me understand what's going to be your strategy, because I'm not sure if you're aware of it. The Trinamool Congress has already tweeted. They're saying bring it on. They're also in fact mentioning that the BJP will be sent back crawling out of Bengal in disgrace. Your quick response to it.
See, the way we have worked in Bihar, every booth was well managed by our workers. We are sure and confident the same management will be applied in Bengal, and we will surely sweep away Bengal. We will give a befitting reply to the lawlessness of Trinamool Congress. And in Bihar, it was a well-crafted strategy. You see that even Nitish Kumar, when Tejasvi was sitting at
Mr.
home.
Nikhil Anand, you're playing safe here. I just have like a couple of minutes left on the broadcast. One question quickly to you and Pooja Patrick. Who's going to be the Chief Minister? JDU today put out a tweet saying that Nitish Kumar is going to continue as the Chief Minister. For whatever reason, Pooja should help me understand, the tweet was deleted. So do we now, are we now looking at a suspense when it comes to the Chief Minister? Is the BJP now ready to accept Nitish Kumar as the Chief Minister, given that you're now the single largest party?
See,
Yeah,
we have two phases.
Okay, Nikhil ji, please continue.
Yeah, we have our Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, Home Minister, Sri Amit Shah ji, JP Nadda ji, Nitish Kumar ji, and other allies, Jitan Ram Manjhi ji, Chirag Paswan, and Upendra Kushwaha. They all must be meeting.
One line, is Nitish Kumar going to be the Chief Minister of Bihar?
Surely we have contested election under him, under his leadership. And Nitish
Somebody
ji
like
is
Samrat Chaudhary, or do you think you'll go for somebody like Samrat Chaudhary for the youth appeal?
No. See, these kind of statement is not very good for us to make a statement, because we respect Nitish Kumar ji, and it will be a collective decision of all the top leaders of NDA. And surely, whatever will come out, even if Nitish ji is going to take over the charge of chief minister again.
Sumita,
That has been
let's also
known.
getting the word from the JDU now. Pooja Patrick ji, in just 30 seconds, help me understand. Will you accept a chief ministerial face from the BJP? Is the JDU ready to work under someone from the BJP?
See, there is no question of working under the leadership of someone else because the elections, the Bihar Vidhan Sabha elections were fought under the leadership of Nitish Kumar, and all the top-notch leaders from all the five allies that we had in the alliance, they had clearly mentioned that there is no vacancy for the CM post. So I think that statement puts a shut on all the speculations that are going on, Ashish and Samita.
So clearly there, the JDU now making sure that it is fought under the leadership of Nitish Kumar. But the bigger question, Pooja ji, that you need to ask your friends from the BJP is that why hasn't BJP officially announced Nitish Kumar as the chief ministerial face? The suspense over that remains. So, Sumita, the bigger question, the bigger context to this is that while the election and the polling might be over, the politics is not. And on that note, viewers,
will definitely keep continuing because, both the parties are yet to decide who the chief ministerial candidate is going to be. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we will be tracking all of those developments right here on ET Now. But for the moment, it's time's up from us on this show. Thank you very much for watching. And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here to discuss the outcome of Bihar elections. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's time now for us to sip into a very short commercial break.